All right, I'm ready to suck it and see. Alright, but for real though, today we're checking out Suck It and See by the Arctic Monkeys. You know, it's only been like a week since I've checked out Humbug, but I feel like I've already gotten everything I need to out of that album. So I'm just ready to move on and get to this album. And hopefully by like the end of this year, I could check out Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino and their new album that I believe came out this year, The Car. So yeah, I know even less about this album than I did Humbug, so I don't know what to expect. The album cover seems pretty bland and basic, so it didn't really give me anything to go off of. So I'm just gonna assume it sounds more like AM, because Humbug sounded like, you know, the perfect bridge between AM and Favorite Worst Nightmares. So I think they're gonna go even further in the AM direction until, you know, they actually get there on the album. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out the Patreon if you want to support me, and let's go. Track 1, we have She's Thunderstorms.
She's thunderstorms, lying as thunderstorms. I've been feeling.
Okay, I see they're going in more of a beachy direction on this song. Like, I don't know which real way I can describe it. Like, it's not really like almost any of the songs I've heard. I guess the best way I can describe it is like Cornerstone on the last album, like, you know, just a little bit more bright and happy. Not exactly what I expected from this first song, because I expected it to sound a little bit more like AM, but you know, I kind of like the direction that I see that they're going for on this. Okay, I don't really get what this first verse really means. She came and substituted the peace and quiet for acrobatic blood flow concentrate. I guess he means like she came into his life and made it a lot more exciting. Like, you know, he got more blood flowing through him. I guess that's what he means by it. Okay, he can't really get her out of his mind because she's just so exciting to him. This new relationship just so much for him. It's like the only thing he can think about. It's the only thing that really, you know, is keeping him excited, you know, into life right now. Because without it, it was peace and quiet, just very boring for him. Okay, that was She's Thunderstorm. Okay, that track gave me the impression that they're going for more of like a beachy, brighter, like California sounding type of album on this one. I'm hoping it stays that way because his voice actually sounded nice over a more bright instrumental than they've been doing on their last 2 albums. You know, that song reminded me a lot of She Moves in Her Own Way by the Kooks that I checked out recently, because, you know, it's about this girl that they can't get out of their mind. They're describing how amazing she is, all the things she does, you know, why they're important and why they like her. And now we have track 2, Black Tricycle. I think that's what it says.
Lately I've been seeing things barely at night on anybody's cabriolet. Wanna wait just in case.
Okay, I can't really get much from this verse. He's very vague on what he means by this, but you know, it seems like the typical Arctic Monkeys song, but he's doing it over a much more brighter instrumental. Same as the last track, very California-esque, which is how I describe, you know, most like bright music.
I look sticky, more like than tar. And so they found a place to hide.
Sorry, the guitar in the end part of that chorus was amazing. It just took me out for a second. I'm like, oh, hold on a minute, this might have something to it. But the chorus on this song, it doesn't sound like it really means much. She's just talking about how dark the sky is. And I guess black treacle is like a black thing, something just really dark. I don't really know what it is, but from what I can get, that's what he means. Because he's saying somebody told the stars you're not coming out tonight. so they found a place to hide. So which means the sky is just really black.
Does it help you stay up late? Does it help you and you talk the talk already, but do you walk the one it now?
Okay, on that second verse, he literally said a whole bunch of nothing. The song still sounds good, but paying attention to these lyrics, it doesn't sound like he's really saying anything. You want it, you know, he's talking in very vague terms. It's just hard to really understand any of it.
Sticky more like black treacle than time the stars, you're not coming out tonight.
Okay, does he mean like he's in like a dark place? Because that's kind of what I'm getting from, you know, the sky looks sticky, more like black treacle than tar. Like, does he mean like he's in like a bad place? Not like the sky itself is actually black. Like, it seems black because he's in such a dark place.
But now I'm out of place, and now I feel like the Sundance Kid be tried last night to pack away a
Okay, that was Black Treacle. That song was interesting because I didn't really understand anything he said. Like, everything I heard and caught, it just sounded very vague and like it didn't really mean nothing. But the guitar on the song was amazing. The bass, the drums, it was all good, but it was just kind of hard to fully get into the song when he was just saying a whole bunch of nothing. And it was kind of throwing me off the song rather than just making me want to pay more attention to it. That's the best way I can describe that. But it still kept that same beachy sound, you know, more bright sound that the last song kept. So I'm guessing this is the angle they're trying to go to for this album, you know, something separated from the rest. So it's more bright and stuff, which I don't get why the album cover doesn't represent that, because I have to look at that while I'm listening to this and it just doesn't match up in my brain. All right, track 3 we have Brick by Brick.
I wanna build you up, brick by brick. I wanna break you down, brick by brick.
Okay, this song, I can already see where it's going. Not for me. It's not for me. And now we have track 4, the Hellcat Spangled Sha-La-La-La. That's an Arctic Monkeys title. Okay, alright, the bass on this song sounds extremely similar to A Certain Romance. I've heard that song a million times. I know that bass line. It sounds almost the exact same.
Just when things are getting complicated in the eye of the storm, it does a dozen somersaults and leaves you soup if you glow in the dark. Sha-la-la-la.
You know, I like this song, you know, after only hearing the first verse, because he sounds so much more comfortable on this song. Like, it sounds like he belongs. It sounds like a song he wants to make and not just like an attempt at something he's already heard. See, this is a song where you can kind of get away with not saying much. You know, it kind of sounds like he is actually saying something on this song and not just a bunch of random bull crap he was saying on the other ones. But like, when a song sounds this good, you don't really have to try lyrically.
In the eye of the storm, sha-la-la-la. And in a Hellcat spangled cat, and you're acting like a stranger, 'cause you thought
Okay, I get it. This girl just messing with him because she finds amusement out of it. She just playing with his emotions, really.
the devil's pedicure. Watch it. Sha-la-la-la.
Okay, that was the Hellcat Spangled Sha-La-La-La. You know, I actually like that song a lot, but I'm seeing a problem with this album. And that's that it's not really doing anything to differentiate itself from any other Arctic Monkeys album. Like, it has no real life to its own. Like, even with the last album, I'm not entirely sure even right now if I like that album. I've listened to it like 3 or 4 times now. But you know a Humbug song when you hear one. it has a certain personality to it, a certain life to it. Every last one of the albums has that except for this one. It just feels like another Arctic Monkeys album. That's the best way I can describe it. It sounds like a placeholder while they're working on the real thing. And now we have track 5, Don't Sit Down Cause I've Moved Your Chair.
Break a mirror. Go into business with a grizzly chair.
You know, this song is going more of a traditional rock route. A lot, you know, harder than stuff that was on the last album, but also a lot more lifeless. Like I said, a couple songs on the album didn't feel like Arctic Monkey songs, but these songs on this album really don't feel like Arctic Monkey songs. Like they just feel like it's almost like a covers album. Like they're not really doing their style. They're just doing styles they've heard or enjoyed in the past. So they're like, hey, we can do that too. And it's just not working because it kind of takes all of what they make good. It just takes that out of it. Okay, this chorus sounds like it's a song off AM, but I'm not too sure which one it was. It might have been One for the Road, but I don't believe it was. It was a song off AM that almost had this exact part in the song. Okay, that was Don't Sit Down Cause I Moved Your Chair. That song sounded like crap. It didn't say a single thing. Kung Fu Fighting on Your Roller Skates. Do the Macarena in the Devil's Lair. Like, you're not gonna look at me and be like, yeah, that meant something. Oh, you don't understand the lyrics. You don't understand what he means by this. It just meant nothing. It was a useless song, and I feel like I've just wasted my time. Like, you know, I had some people who said that, you know, the last album was their favorite, and I was like, I understand, because I see the parts that it is to love in that album. This album either sounds extremely basic and boring, or it just has nothing else to it. Like, there's nothing in this album that I'm just like, oh, this song really stands out. Like, even the songs I like are being dragged down by worse songs right after them, and that's gonna make me not want to come back to the songs I like. Track 6, we have Library Pictures.
Library pictures.
Or not. This might be the first song that I can't really point anything bad about. Like, the lyrics, they don't really mean too much, but like I said, on a good song, you don't have to really make sense all the time. You just gotta make it sound good for me, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, that's nice. Okay, the counting at the end of that verse just kind of made it sound like he ran out of things to say, so he was like, I'll just count down to when we go back to the instrumental, to when we get out of the bridge. Okay, that was Library Pictures. You know, that might be the first song where I didn't have really anything bad to say about it. Like, I complained about him counting down at the end of the bridge, but that was really nothing. This song was short, sweet, and got to the point. And I know I complain about these songs being short, but that's because the other songs really had nothing going for them already, and they were just dragging out that nothingness. This song had a really good instrumental. The bridge that slowed it down felt like it made sense, and it didn't go on for too long. Then it came back and it ended strong. Perfect. Now we have track 7, All My Own Stunts. You You know, so far I like the sound of the song, but his melody on here is like he's just dragging the words out a little bit too long. Where I'm just like, okay, get it over, get to the next line. But that's my only real complaint about this song. Okay, he's asking his girl, I guess, to show him her dance moves, get on the dance floor. You know, it could also be a reference to the song Dancing Shoes on their first album, but I don't think it is. You know, this sounds like a song that would be on the album before AM. That's the best way I can describe it. It feels like an incubated state of an AM song.
It's changed its tune.
Okay, that was all my own stunts. You know, other than the instrumental outro of the song, I feel like the song ran on just a little bit too long. It was just a bit too boring for me. But the instrumental outro, you know, it really caught me. Like, I would go back and listen to like the last 20, 30 seconds of that song, because I feel like the instrumental outro was just amazing. But other than that, the song, it was just really whatever. This album's shaping up to just be an okay to bad album. Now we have track 8, Reckless Serenade.
Topless models do and get ignored. A reckless serenade.
I like the feeling of the song. It sounds nicer. You know, the song feels like it's pulling you in, like his lyrics saying. When she walks, her footsteps sing a reckless serenade. Like, just hearing it, it feels like he's being dragged towards it, which is kind of how I feel with the song. Like, the more I hear, I'm like, I'm more intrigued to hear what he has to say.
Called up to listen to the voice of reason and got the answering machine. He laughs the heavens home, a stone gone lullaby. She's walking by. I've been trying to figure out exactly.
Okay, that was Reckless Serenade. You know, I like that song a lot. Like, that's probably one of the only songs on the album I would go back to. But I can't help but feel like it sounded just like an extended intro. Like the entire song just sounded like the intro to a song. Then like the ending chorus, you know, with the instrument, when the instrumental finally came in, I felt like that should have been there since like right after the first chorus. Because that would have made the song sound a lot more complete than it does. Because right now it just sounds like they just had like 2 versions of an intro, and they just stacked them on top of each other and threw the outro there and just called it a song. But other than that, it was a great song. And now we have track 9, Pile Driver Waltz.
Walk for the sand in an hourglass. I heard a driver waltz. It woke me up this morning.
Okay, first of all, this song sounds amazing, and I can understand the lyrics and actually get what he means by it. The pile driver waltz is her leaving him. That's how it felt in his heart, like a pile driver waltz. He's saying woke him up this morning, like he's still feeling it to this day. But the song itself actually it has like the perfect blend between like, you know, just a upbeat, happy, bright song like they've been doing on this album, but it also still has that hint of sadness in it, and you can just feel that.
For breakfast at the Heartbreak Hotel, inside the pamphlets and the lit tree.
It's the first line of the chorus, but it just reminded me of 808s and Heartbreak by Kanye West, because he said, "You look like you've been for breakfast at the Heartbreak Hotel." And on Paranoid on that album, Kanye says, "You tried to check into the Heartbreak Hotel, but we're closed." And I'm just like, that's like a nice little detail. Okay, he's saying she didn't end it well with him. Like, if you're gonna try to leave me, at least, you know, try to make it sound nice, make it be good. But it sounds like you went through the harshest of harsh things to do this. Like, it's not exactly a comfortable ending. It's not exactly a comfortable ending to the relationship.
green when you answer, but the red on the redder changes. I heard the news that you put, it woke me up this morning. And the literature on how to lose your way.
Okay, that was Pile Driver Waltz. That song was amazing from top to bottom. Every single second of it, I never got bored listening to it. And it feels like the second half of this album is really picking up the slack. Because after like the first 6 tracks, I was convinced this album was unsavable. It was just going to be a really crappy album. I wasn't going to enjoy anything from it, and I was ready to get this over with. But the more this album goes on, the more I'm like, hold on, they're actually showing something here. I just don't know why it took them so long to do this, and why they would, even when you only have like maybe 5 or 6 good songs, I don't know why you would just waste your time putting out your B-sides when you could have just like put out a little EP in between the album drops. But now we have track 10, Love is a Laser Quest.
Don't worry, I'm sure that you're still breaking hearts with the efficiency.
Okay, I guess it's talking about somebody who doesn't really take relationships too seriously. They're kind of just going through life, you know, leaving relationships, doing whatever they want, no matter who it hurts. And he's singing in a very condescending way, like he's like, oh, do you still think it's like this now that you're old? Like he's out to get her, kind of.
I've tried to ask you this in some daydreams that I've had, but you're always looking to the mirror to remind yourself.
See, that's something I hate about these songs on this album. You've seen at the end of the first verse, he's building up to the big chorus drop, and it just stops itself. Like, why? I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a big like breakdown at the end of the song, because how all these songs go. But it's like, why waste your time doing the same thing for sometimes 3 minutes straight, and then the last 20 seconds you'll actually, you know, give the big breakdown moment of the song. Like, you have to do it early to keep the attention of the listener. I just don't understand why they don't do it.
When I'm not being honest, I pretend that you were just so thinking of you. I doubt that comes as a surprise. I can't find anywhere to hide. It's around my eyes, and I convince myself I need another.
Okay, that was Love is a Laser Quest. I actually really like the lyrics on that song, but it's too bad because the instrumental made me just want to go to sleep the whole time. It was like it was putting me in a daze. I was like, oh well, I guess I can't care about the lyrics because this instrumental is so boring and it went nowhere the entire time. Like, this song would have been way better if the instrumental just, you know, if it all came in, it exploded, and he actually, you know, sounded like he was trying on the song. But it's just, and now we have track 11, the title track, Suck It and See.
Your kiss, it could put creases in the rain. The girls are just post-mix lemonade. She's all in with shoes.
I actually kind of like this song. It's just that it doesn't feel like his voice works for this type of music. Like, this music is just a little bit too bright for his voice, which is a lot, you know, deeper, and just like it sounds like it should be over dark music. I don't believe it's his voice. I think it's just the way he's singing. He sings like 80% of these songs like he's extremely uninterested. He doesn't care about this. He's just doing stuff. Like, it's just another day at work for him. Which, like, it's a 50-50 if it can just come off of like, oh wow, he's just really comfortable in this song, or wow, he's just really boring on this song. You know, even after criticizing it, he still has great wordplay that, like, nobody else gonna think of that, of saying that the way he just said that. Like, no one else. That's one thing you can't take away from him. Okay, that was Suck It and See I actually like that song. His voice kind of grew on me over the track. But I feel like since he's been singing the exact same way on the entire album, I just kind of got sick of it towards the beginning of this. But I kind of get the sentiment of the song of kind of knowing that this relationship was kind of doomed from the start, but he still wants to try it because you never know what's gonna happen. But now we have track 12. That's where you're wrong.
Setting sun, make a wish that you two hold, and no understanding.
It's standard for an outro on an Arctic Monkeys track to be good, so I'm not really blown away by this. So I kind of expected this to be, one of the best songs on the album, which from the first verse it already sounds like, but I seen that coming.
Jealousy.
Okay, That's Where You're Wrong, and the end of this album. Like I said, I expected the last song on the album to be one of the best, and it is. But this album overall, I did suck it. I didn't like what I saw. I'm just gonna say that. This album, while it had redeeming moments, it was far too inconsistent for me to ever consider this a great album, let alone a good album, let alone a great album. Like it's pretty okay to bad, really. Like, I feel like after a couple more listens, this is an album that would only ever get worse on re-listens, because the songs that I really don't like, I feel like will take down the songs that I do like. Like, I'm surprised they were able to make an album as good as AM after this, because they're kind of on like a downward spiral and a bit of a skid. But I guess they just kind of clicked finally when they made AM, and it just all made sense, because this, I don't really know what they were going for. But that's all I really got for you. Be seeing you later. Bye.